morning, everyone. Welcome to the Sulk stream. I am your host, the Incredible Sulk, and I hope you're having a good day. I hope you had a good day, Wave, and I hope you had a good rest of your day between then and now. And Thanksgiving's coming up, and we have to deal with that. We have to deal with the family. We got to deal with the drunk uncles. We got to be the drunk uncles. You know, whatever you want to do. You want to talk about politics? I don't think that really matters. I think what the key discussion this year at the dinner table is going to be the collapse of society in general. So it's going to be a cheery one, I'm sure. And I'm sure you agree. But tonight we're not going to be talking about that. We are not going to be talking about that at all. We are going to be talking about the subjugation of women. We are going to be talking about how they have been mistreated and men aren't allowed to think their own thoughts whatsoever. I have to put a warning on this video because not that it's graphic or disgusting or anything like that. It's just so fucking stupid. I had to do an episode on it. It is the worst take I've ever heard. And it's going to be fun for us. It's going to be fun for me. It's going to be fun for you. And we're going to listen to a shrill woman shriek about how women are oppressed and men shouldn't be allowed to use AI because they use likenesses of women, because they use it for pornography. And, you know, look, I'm no fan of pornography. I don't think pornography is good for society in general and stuff. But what this lady is advocating is for thought crimes. Literal thought crimes. So get comfy. Get cozy. Grab a nice bottle of just isopropyl alcohol because you're going to want to end it after hearing this. It's gonna be fucking annoying. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's gonna be annoying. So yeah, if you're working, keep working. If you're driving, please continue to drive safely and get home safely and hit the subscribe, hit the like button, do all those things that help the show out. It would really make me happy. And make you good cult members. Anyways, I'm the Incredible Sulk. This is the Sulk stream. And this is called AI Deepfake Dolls. Guys don't need your permission anymore. Enjoy.
Male ego. We've already had great video essayists talk about how AI models tend to be molded after women. Young, beautiful,
Okay, so you can already tell by the aesthetics of this video that it is going to be mind-numbing.
Voluptuous, skinny women who are there to perfectly
Sorry, you're fat.
serve men. People have spoke about the issue.
Look, what's the problem with actually... What's the problem with serving a man? I serve my wife all day long, every single day. I don't see any issue with that. But when you say, oh, I'm simply here to serve a man. I have to bring you dinner and bear your children and keep your house tidy and stuff like that. What am I, a slave? Am I nothing but some sort of automaton that doesn't read spicy smut books and lay around drinking fucking, I don't know, martinis next to a pool all day? Because I'd have to do fucking maybe an hour of work a day? Maybe? Maybe? I don't know. If you have kids, it is a lot of work. Don't get me wrong. It is. But I mean, like, the entire idea that, like, oh, I'm so fucking sorry you have to serve a man. You would be much better off going into an office and fucking spending 40 years, 8 hours a day, day after day after day, just getting berated by, guess what? Probably a man. And even if it is a woman that is your boss, her boss is probably a man. And you might be like, no, our CEO's a woman. Well, what about the fucking shareholder? Is he a man? Yeah.
Use of companies naming their AI and service robots.
Couch Surfing says, I love serving you. Good. She's making banana bread, and I'm pretty excited about it. She's going to make this homemade whipped cream that is just like so, it fucking slaps, dude. It's so good. Make sure you put like the cinnamon on it, cinnamon on the whipped cream, because, yep,
after women who then also have women's voices.
I don't want to tell you how you do your job, all right? I don't want to tell you how to do your job or anything like that, but I would prefer it if the whipped cream had cinnamon on it, okay? And make sure the proper amount of sugar is in that whipped cream. Again, I'm not telling you how to do your job, okay? I now I have to listen to this woman complain about how serving men is beneath her somehow. And that she is angry that AI is actually usurping her position in society, which is something to actually be upset about.
Scarlett Johansson has famously been someone who's not only been
Billy McBilly says, boomers?
targeted to leak their personal images, but also
Someone's a fan of the show.
to create deepfakes of them, but also her voice allegedly being used to train OpenAI's voice for Sky, I believe it was. They approached her asking for permission to use her voice, but in my opinion, in my little conspiracy theory mind, is they'd already done all of the training and then they asked her afterwards. It fits fine.
Who cares? Who cares? Look, computers have become an extension of the human mind, right? They're basically brains outside of our brains, and that's not going to be the case forever. In a very short few years, these devices, these phones, these computers and stuff like that will probably be directly integrated into our biology. That being said, are you allowed to tell me what I can imagine? Can you do that? Can you tell me what I am allowed to imagine? Do I need your permission to imagine you butt naked on a fucking island surrounded by coconuts, getting shit on by seagulls or whatever? It doesn't really matter. It's an imagination. No, you don't. I don't give a shit if it vaguely looks like you or precisely looks like you. You have no right to tell me what I'm allowed to imagine, what I'm allowed to draw, what I'm allowed to use my computer to draw. I hate to fucking shut down the argument so quickly because I'm going to let this run for a little while. But that's it. That's the crux of it.
Far too well into the tech bro space of move fast and break things. We're going to be talking about so much farming in this video, lots of talk of corn and eggs. There is a
You know what she means by corn, right? And eggs, of course. Her eggs are done for, and her corn career probably never took off.
whole bunch of this video I will not be able to share on YouTube because they love to demonetize people that talk about the issues of stuff. As
I really want to know what you mean.
happens to me all too often. There's an entire chapter of this video which I definitely can't include on here, so that's exclusively available on
Dan.
Patreon. And if you ever do want my ad-free, uncensored, director's cut versions of these videos,
OnlyFans?
hop on over to Patreon. The link is down below.
Damn it. So close.
And when it comes to how AI are presented on screen, it's not always done in the best way. I would really recommend going and watching this video from Final Girl Digital. Like, we've got such an issue, especially when it comes to women, of enjoying or capitalizing off our own sexuality. You know, of their own autonomy and volition. People hate that OnlyFans workers are paid for something which should be able to be gotten for free. Well,
What do you mean by that? No, it's not. Look. What? It's not that. Look, what people are upset about is that these women are destroying their lives. Their lives are destroyed from the time they do this, sometimes very young. 18 years old, they go on OnlyFans. But they don't realize that that destroys their life for the rest of their life. And maybe they'll make a lot of money. But the amount of women that make a lot of money in that are very small. Very small. So you flash your butthole all over the internet forever. Because remember, the internet is forever. For a few measly dollars, maybe $100 a month. Maybe $100 a month. That would be 80%. Or the top 20% make a little bit. Well, there's also the very rich ones, right? Which is a very small percentage. But 80% make below $100 a month. But then your butthole, your boobs, and your clam sham are all over the internet forever. And you may not care. You may not care. You, as an 18-year-old, 20-year-old, 25-year-old, you may not care. You don't have an issue with that. Like, whatever. Let guy jerk off to my all the stuff over there. I don't care, right? Sure, right. Until you want to get married, have a family, and stuff like that. I'm not saying you're not able to do those things. Maybe some cuck will come around and absolutely be like, yeah, I married a porn star. But like that, you're not going to like that guy. You are not going to like that guy. And should you have children with that man or with any man, regardless, that kid is going to forever be branded as the son of a whore for his entire life, right? Yeah, and it'll start probably early middle school when some people in the school are going to be like, yo, is this your mom's asshole? It's pretty nice. I don't know if things are going to change by then and everyone's going to get real cool with a lot of things real fast. But if you showed me a picture of my mom's asshole, I'd be pretty upset. So that's not what we're not upset that that chicks are making money off of their nudes. That's not the issue here. Sure, there is a lot of dirtbag guys out there. There is. And I don't think they should be paying for this kind of stuff. It's bad for you. But it's your choice to put yourself out on the internet like that. This is my choice. I'm doing this. You don't think all this shit's going to come back and bite me in the future? No, it won't, because my butthole is not on the internet. Okay? It's not. I'm not slamming the clam to the golden oldies or something like that. I'm just saying, a lot of your value is derived from your sexual worth. I'm going to be completely blunt about it, all right? And when you do this, you severely cheapen it. Severely.
They're working, so they should be paid for their work, just like you should
About $6.95 a month.
be paid for your work, right? But this is just your entire
Work, I don't know. Okay, fine. I'll call it work. I'll give you... If you're making money, I'm going to call it work, okay? I will call it work. If you are making money, regardless of what it is, I will call it work.
entitlement and societal shaming talking, which has created this whole disgusting misogynistic mess. And yes,
Misogynistic, she uses that term a lot. And yes, I am very, very misogynistic. I want to lay that out. This is full disclosure. I am one of those.
Sulk is a whole other topic into itself. I would even recommend you go and watch this video from...
Background says, why did she vajazzle her eyes? I don't know, dude. But, like, her entire look is just, like, it's a try-hard. This is try-hard. And, like, how long did you spend putting on the makeup versus how long did you spend actually making the video? I feel like the makeup probably took longer.
Very old video from Philosophy Tube. It was made, like, 6+ years ago at this point. Sydney Sweeney, someone who men absolutely... adore and have claimed that finally women are women again. She sold soap containing her bathwater, and people...
Yes, she did. I don't know why anybody would buy that. That seems gross. But if you want to buy that and rub it all over your body, be my guest. What's the problem?
say that this cheapens her, but these are...
It does.
The exact same people who would quite happily watch deepfakes of her, right? Or would be...
Yes. And?
Interested in a doll which was modeled after her, but because she is benefiting herself, that makes her cheap?
No. Well, yeah. Yes. Yeah, because she's actually selling bits of her body. Look, again, it comes down to the imagination versus... If a chick puts naked pictures of herself up on the internet, it will cheapen her. If I draw naked pictures of that chick, that's me being a fucking creep, okay? There's a difference. There is very clearly a difference. And if you can't grasp that, which I'm not surprised that you can't, if you can't grasp that, then the issue is much deeper than sexual market value or your perceived value to men in general.
We hate women having control over their sexuality, you see. Like, it's disgusting to flaunt it. I
told you this. I told you this. I told you this. It's not about flaunting it. It's not about controlling sexuality or anything like that. It is bad for society in general. It's like a drug dealer, right? It hurts you. It hurts the consumer. Okay? What are you trying to say here, bitch?
Marrying it being something done to a woman rather than something which, everyone
says Sydney Sweeney is the best. Great.
participating, consenting to, and enjoying. And this is a big part of the problem here, especially with the way that eggs tech has developed over time. Not only when it comes to deepfakes, but also when it comes to companions and dolls. This and so much more is explored brilliantly in Laura Bates' latest.
Despite says it doesn't actually have her bathwater. Okay, well, was she actually saying that? Was she actually saying my bathwater's in this? My bathwater's in this soap. I mean, there was those e-girls. What was her name? That was actually literally selling little tubs of her bathwater, and people were like drinking it and stuff, which is absolutely vile. That's vile, dude. You don't know what she was doing. She could have just got cream pied by some dude, and then she hops in the bath, and then you're like chugging down like, oh my God. But whatever, dude. I know there's a lot of hard up guys out there. I'm on Daywave. I see it in the chat. I see it in my fucking chat. That's like, damn. There's a lot of fucking pathetic. I'm just saying, dude, like, there's a lot of gross people out there.
The New Age of Sexism, which I highly recommend. It's listed for you down below.
Background says she's wearing one too many daisies in her hair. I think she has 3. 1, 2, 3. Maybe 4? Who puts daisies?
Patrons in my in-depth review for them. It is a fantastic.
Dan Snot says I'm hard up.
But highly disturbing book and a very tough read, so just be warned. It's definitely what I would call stomach churning. The thing which struck me the most, and this is something which I've been feeling for a long time even before I read the book, is the increasing attitude of
despite says because she's a whore. That's why she vaginalized her eyes. Do you put are those rhinestones? Do they not get into your eyes? And what's with the whole look? I'm not like, okay, fine. I'm judging you on the way you look. I'm a human being, all right? I'm not like some demigod or anything like that who's above judging people based on how they look. I am a normal person. You people are normal people. We all do it, okay? We judge people based on how they look. Subconsciously. Like, we literally have no choice. It's just part of being a human being. It makes us more efficient. It makes us safer. There's a reason why we have these prejudices. That's what they literally are. It's a prejudging of how people keep themselves together, how they wear their clothes, how they comb their hair, how they look in general, right? This didn't just pop up in the 20th century and where did all this racism come from? Where did all this misogyny and bigotry come from? No, this is really, really, really deep rooted in our evolution to keep us safe and to keep us alive. That's why people are getting stabbed in the neck. Because we're ignoring it.
Entitlement to, especially women's bodies. All without that.
Couch surfing says that's just instincts. Exactly. Couch, when you go to a park with the boys, right? And there's let's say a 60-year-old man that's hunched over and staring at the children, and he's disheveled and stuff like that, and he doesn't have kids or anything what would you be your first reaction to that person? He's alone at a park staring at the children. Maybe his zipper's down. Maybe it's not. What would you assume in that situation? Would you be like, well, I don't want to be prejudiced. He's probably here selling ice cream, even though he's got no ice cream accoutrement. No cones. No scoop. Nothing to indicate that he is selling ice cream whatsoever. But if you assume he's not selling ice cream, you are some sort of bigot. You are just wrong. Of course he's an ice cream salesman. Get into his creepy, dirty van, and he'll give you the ice cream. He'll give you the ice cream.
Consent. And thanks to AI, well, we don't need that.
Cash traffic says pedophile. Immediately. You know why? Thousands of years of evolution, of like watching out for danger and stuff like that. Thousands, hundreds of thousands. It's not out of nowhere, right? So I'm here judging you on your appearance. You probably have pretty low self-esteem. You're probably pretty angry, right? This is why you cake on makeup and stuff and then go on the internet complaining about what? Misogyny, right? Where are your kids? Where are your boys? Where's your husband? She married? Married, there we go. I assume that's a wedding ring. I really hope it is.
Consent anymore. Anything that you could possibly dream of can be created. Your convenience is the thing that matters. You see it, you want it, you like it, you create it, just take it.
She's a robot. I made her to love me. I didn't make a toy. I made a girlfriend.
Bots are here to serve you. Tech fairs are beacons of light to the future, giving us all hope. Except most of them are dedicated to AI these days, right? Which all of us, well, myself very much in this camp, hate. Not only for the moral and ethical.
Okay, you don't like AI? A lot of people don't. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Are you going to stop AI? Are you going to stop people using AI? Are you going to stop people using AI in any way they see fit? Or are you just going to sit here and complain? Because I feel like you're just going to sit here and complain and offer no real solution. You're bitching and moaning. You're bitching and moaning because people are using a computer, something you probably don't understand all that well, to do something they want to do, and then most likely sharing it on the internet. Now what? Now what? Now what? Now what? What is your plan, bitch? What is your plan? Are you going to just complain more about it? Are you going to try to stop them? Because you can't. You know you can't. Is that it? That's it. I think that's it. I think that's
Ethical
it.
issues, but also the environmental ones too. I've talked about this before, but generative AI.
She is sulking. Sulking is something completely different. In my version of sulking, okay? All right. I raise valid points, right? I try to offer reasonable solutions, reasonable preparations for the situations that we have at hand, all right? This is being mad about what's in other people's brains, what's in other people's computers. Being mad at society, it's weird that a girl is mad at society. I'm sorry, you pushed for like the 19th Amendment and females in the workplace and female empowerment and a straight 50-50 all the way. And now you're bitching and moaning that you don't have enough in society. You don't have enough. Now you're unhappy because of all the pushing you've done, right? And this is not your fault. This is not women's fault in general, right? This is men's fault. Obviously not mine. But like men in general, they're just like, fine, you can vote. Fine, you can get into the workplace. Fine, you don't have to raise kids. Fine, you'll get 50% of whatever your husband makes. Fine. It's just constantly, you give them an inch, they take a mile. And after all of that, they are more miserable than they were back in the 50s when they were fucking in the kitchen making pies and having kids. I'm not saying that's what you need to do as a woman. I'm not saying that at all. All right? It's your life. You have a right to do whatever the fuck you want. But there are societal pressures now that say, no, you can't be a homemaker. That's a waste of life. You can't be a mother. That you have so much potential and stuff like that. When most of these chicks don't have shit for potential. don't have a goddamn lick of potential whatsoever. Most of them, 99% at minimum. And so now they go off and they try to make it big. They try to be the big boss bitch and live in the inner city life and shit like that until they hit like 35. And then they're like, okay, my baby clock is going off real hard. Now I need to find a man to settle down with. But oh no. Anybody you would find remotely acceptable to do that with is already dating somebody 10 years younger than you. And that's hard. And then what do? You complain and you complain and you complain because it's the only weapon you have used to get yourself this far in life. It's complaining, it's bitching and moaning and bitching and moaning. And it's made you miserable. From the inside out, it has made you miserable.
You know, when it comes to LLMs, large language models, diffusion models, image generation, video creation, as these are all examples that we're talking about in today's video, they've got terrible environmental impacts. As this MIT piece explains, generative AI training cluster might consume 7 or 8 times more energy than a typical computing workload. By 2020,
it's true, AI does take a lot of energy. Look, there's like, there's this whole talk about the AI bubble and stuff like that. How like OpenAI is getting funded by like NVIDIA, and like NVIDIA is putting money into OpenAI, and then OpenAI is using NVIDIA to like create their AI and shit like that. And there's this weird feedback loop, right? There's a very incestuous feedback loop in the tech industry right now, and that's why it's growing so quickly, and it's getting big. Is there a bubble? I mean, yeah, that's definitely possible. It's possibly a bubble, but they are trying to achieve something, right? They're trying to achieve AGI, super intelligence, and should they achieve that, which is there's a pretty good shot of that happening, then a bubble means nothing. A bubble absolutely means nothing at that point. For a bubble to actually exist, a bubble would need to pop. That's what a bubble, like the definition of when we talk about it economically, like the housing bubble. It pops, the houses drop to half their worth and stuff like that. Everyone loses their jobs. Everyone's underwater on their home loans and stuff. I don't know if that's going to happen in AI. Because should they achieve their goal, it will be worth trillions and trillions of dollars to the point where it won't even make sense valuing it in current economic terms. It will essentially be the new economy. So it wouldn't pop, right? So this is why they let everybody use AI basically free of charge, even though it costs a lot of money. Every time you ask ChatGPT a question, you ask Grok a question, it costs a lot of money. But they do it, they give it to you anyway. You know why? Because you asking it questions, giving it information, you're training it, you're helping build the AI. That's why they're allowing you to do that. Why? That's why they're losing trillions of dollars every year on energy costs and engineering this thing. Because you're helping. Because you're helping build it faster and faster. And the first person to actually achieve this AGI will be essentially the god of the universe. And they know this. They know this full well. They know this, that, you know, it'll change the world. No more aging, no more cancer, space travel, possibly teleportation, that kind of shit, like Star Trek level stuff. So,
26, the electricity consumption of data centers is expected to approach 1,050 terawatts, which would bump data centers up to 5th place on the global list between Japan and Russia. And most countries aren't like us here in Aotearoa, where a majority of our electricity is from renewable resources, between 80 to 85%. For the world to survive, we need to have massive decreases in energy consumption, particularly fossil fuels.
She's bringing in climate. I don't think any of that's real. I don't think any of the climate stuff's real. Because if it was, then China would be worried about it too. And they're just simply not. right? China's not worried about it. No one else is really worried about it except for like the West. So I don't think it's real at all.
If people are ever going to be able to survive. Planet's dying and generative AI has its foot to the floor.
Doom says, not going to lie, I'm kind of terrified of AI taking over the world. Doom's coming in. What's up, man? I'm not. I'm not, because either it's going to be a utopia or we're all going to die immediately. I know that's not reassuring. I understand that it's not reassuring. But in either situation, I don't really have to think about it too much. So I'm not too worried.
And companies are capitalizing it and using the objectification.
There's like roughly a 10% chance that everyone dies immediately. But like I was saying last night, the bigger issue is going to be the gigantic war that's probably 2, 3, 4 years away. That will kill a lot of people. That is a much bigger worry. I'm not as worried about AI. Not as worried about AI. If AI kills us all, then, well, that's just it. That's just what happens. But the war, you can kind of, you might be able to survive the war.
Of women and this sense of entitlement to further their own gain, creating bots which are better than real women because they can't say no.
What's the problem? If you look, you want a robot for the same thing. You'd be like, "Hey, robot, take out the trash." And if the robot was like, "Not right now, I'm watching the game," you would fucking hit that robot with a frying pan. No, of course. You don't want it to say no. It's a robot. You want it to do what you want it to do, right? When you turn on your TV, you pick up the goddamn remote, you turn on the TV. Does your TV say no? It doesn't, does it? How about your computer? So again, what's your problem? What's your problem? You're mad that men are getting sexually satisfied off of a piece of fucking metal and shit? Even though when women run around with those big fucking dildos all day? Can that dildo say no? Doesn't want to be jammed in your gross clap?
1974, Maria Abramovic created Rhythm Zero, an art piece where she was the subject. And people could choose from a
This was fake, by the way. This was fake.
table of things of what they wanted to, quote, do to her. They could give her a flower or they could use a knife. As this Guardian piece reports, the performance lasted 6 hours. At first, her audience was passive, but then as time went on, they turned violent, with people using the objects to cut into her skin, rip her clothes, stick a knife between her legs, and attach a piece of paper to her body that read vile. Surrounded the table,
Yeah, she hired people in the crowd to actually do these things and like push and goad the crowd into doing more extreme things. And also, you have a bunch of artists there, a bunch of people in the art community. They're going to be fucking creeps. All right? I've known some artists. Especially these hoity-toity fucking liberal New York art scene people. They're fucking monsters. Okay? So let's not fucking shoehorn the rest of really normal civilized society into that. You know, the people who don't tape a banana to the wall and be like, "Oh my God, it's so inspirational." You just don't get it. You don't get it. No shit, it's a fucking banana on the wall. The only way I would see that as art is if you explained it like this. Now hang on with me. Hang on. Look at all these fucking idiots thinking that's art. That's pretty funny. And that could be considered art. Look at this joke I made to make these assholes look like assholes. Bravo. Bravo. Right? I don't think that was the intended goal. I think the guy was just like, I'm just going to tape a banana to a wall and see what happens. But if you're getting paid, bro, by all means. By all means. Yeah. People used to do the Sistine Chapel, right? Like the Mona Lisa and fucking, Michelangelo's David and shit like that. Now we have people slapping butter with chains. Whatever that's supposed to mean. Whatever that's supposed to mean. Isn't art supposed to be a euphemism, a metaphor? Isn't it supposed to make people like reflect. Call me ignorant, call me dumb. You know, maybe I just don't get it, okay? But I don't see how this is supposed to make me reflect on our modern situation, on our modern society.
This exhibition, there were photographs of what happened at the exhibit. They show predominantly men
Tickle Penny Lane says, hello, always good work from you. Thank you, Tickle Penny.
playing with the objects, touching Abramovic's body, ogling and laughing at her with her friends as she stands there alone, tears filling her eyes. Well, she asked.
It is. Again, I told you she hired people. She told people beforehand to do these more extreme things, to goad the crowd into pushing the limits and stuff like that. Was everybody involved in that? Probably not. She didn't hire everybody there. But again, liberal artist weirdos are kind of sick people.
For it right. The rhythms explore the tightening of rules in an authoritarian society, but also what it's like to be a woman in a deeply misogynistic culture. But I mean, if the opportunity is there,
Misogyny.
you can't expect people to not
It
go and
comes
do
down to misogyny. Of course, it was misogyny. But have you tried to do the same with a man? Have you done a double-blind study here and done the same experiment with a man? You haven't, have you? You haven't at all. You haven't even closely tried. Because there is, what do you want to say? Similar situations that have happened. And it's called Guantanamo Bay, where people get to do whatever the fuck they want to these people. And it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad, all right? So just because this artist lady does it and doesn't get hurt or anything like that, doesn't mean if it were a man, everyone would just be like, oh, good evening, sir. I shan't touch you. No, they'd probably fucking kill him.
the worst things, right? Who was it that was doing the worst things? It was men in this case. I mean, she couldn't say no or fight back. If you're allowed...
She could. She had absolutely every choice in the world. She chose to do this. She chose to do this. She chose to hire the people in the crowd. What do you mean she couldn't? What do you exactly mean? She laid out these objects for people to use however they see fit. What exactly? There was a lot of choice involved here. What are you talking about?
To do anything, why treat them with kindness and respect? When the performance was over and she was autonomous, herself again.
At that moment,
This is Marina Abramovich, isn't it? This is a spirit cooking bitch. She's a witch. She's literally I'm not trying to like insult her or anything like that. No, she made a pact with Satan and she is a witch. There. I tried to be as honest. She is a witch. She does witchcraft. I'm not calling her like a mean name.
everybody ran away.
She's a
People
witch.
could not actually confront with me as.
And so, look, and she hangs out with like the Clintons and stuff like that, and like paints dead bodies and like plays with child's blood and stuff like that. So if this is the person you're feeling sympathetic towards, it's a bad example. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you it's a bad example.
As a person.
People are absolutely fine to defile
Christian said, and yes, knows.
and abuse because our bodies are seen as a plaything for their enjoyment. But then you bring in consent and
She looks like a fucking witch, doesn't she?
accountability, and suddenly everybody knows what's okay and what's not okay.
Billy McBilly says, I framed a picture of a chili dog. It's modern. I would actually prefer that. Because that would be quirky and stuff like that. I mean, like, I'm sure you could sell that to like a Buca de Beppo or something. They'd be like, yeah, that's going on a wall. It's a conversation piece. If you taped a banana to the wall, they'd be like, why is there a banana here? Did some kid do this? That's not a conversation piece. It's a banana on a wall.
Okay to do. Fast forward to 2017,
You know what's art? Is two fat twins on motorcycles. Mwah.
where Samantha, a doll who was on display, was manhandled to the point of breaking at a tech fair. The people mounted Samantha's her legs and arms. 2 fingers were broken. She was heavily soiled. And at CE
What does heavily soiled mean? What does heavily soiled? Tell me what's heavily soiled mean. Tell me what heavily soiled means. I'm not saying I don't believe you, because I kind of do. But I want to know specifically, what is the soil? Do they shit on her? Did she get fucking roped in the face? You know what I'm saying? What is the soil? Did the robot get pissed on?
CES 2025 in Las Vegas, this companion bot was shot.
Despite says that bitch is evil. And he gave me a link. Oh, I'm going to look at this link. I'm looking at this link. Yeah, Marina Abramovich is, this is pretty funny. Hold on.
And she is specifically designed not for the thing which you think she is.
Go on.
Despite the model appearance.
Oh, good
It
point.
literally doesn't have the parts or the lubrication for the other activity that you're thinking of.
So this is Melody.
You're nasty. You're a nasty bitch. Thank you for that, Despite. You can't lube it up? Who gives it? Like, what do you... I mean, like, is there a problem that it can't get wet? It's a robot. What is she... She's just saying misogyny a lot, but I don't know what her exact issue is here.
She's one of our companionship robots. She's full-bodied, and we have a lot of motors inside her, a lot of servos.
I like how there's an Indian guy being like, brothers, we have found the cure to our insatiable horniness. What is with Indians? Why are they so horny? What is wrong with Indians? Why are they so horny? That sounds like a nightmare. Like living in a nightmare, being constantly so horny. God, that's like, damn, dude. You live like that? Maybe if they weren't so horny, they'd be able to build a civilization and like not shit on the street everywhere. But maybe they're just like, dude, I'm just so bricked up right now, constantly bricked up. He can't even do anything else.
She can have real-life expressions. You can change her face in 30 seconds, change her character, change the way she talks.
However, the comments on the video, but what does that mouth do? That thing's got more personality than most of the women I've met.
Is this her without makeup? Damn. I'm not one of those people who thinks makeup should be illegal, because I don't think it should be illegal. However, makeup is supposed to be an accentuation of your natural beauty, of your natural features, right? It's just supposed to make you pop a little bit, right? Just pop a little bit. When you're literally putting on like a fucking face, like it's like Mission Impossible. At the end of the night, they're like, "Ah!" And it's another person. That's too much. That's too much. You've seen it. I've seen it. We've all seen it. We've seen it on the internet where like these women, they take off their face where it actually entails them taking off a face. It is the creepiest thing I've ever seen. It is a creepy, and this is not like for a movie. This isn't Rick Baker doing their makeup. Okay, this is their going out look, right? Where like facial recognition technology is useless to them because they are not the same person they woke up as.
How strong is her hand grip? Does she have a program where she takes all my money and the kids?
Couch Sharing says, my grandpa wrote a song about women that do that. I am aware of the song, Jess. I am aware of the song. It's kind of a funny song.
So, are they soft? Finally, a good woman. Does the mouth open, though? Asking for a friend. I want the face, though. What face is that? Is that the O-faced or is it the dead face?
We can make her smile. And the one that everyone loves is her just being angry.
Being angry? So realistic.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Aria.
What's the purpose of this? Some of our peers in the robotic space.
Background noise says those dudes running the booth made a robo bridge before the show. A robotic Eiffel Tower, if you will. Whoa.
make robots to replace human labor. We think that's a great area, but we think there's a much bigger area in having social robots. So, for example, at a convention like this, we can draw a crowd.
Play a few bars? We could. We could, honey. Do you want to?
Very easily. Aria's been a little bit of a rock star here.
Packing my wife's bags right now. We're getting close, fellas. Just having an on-off switch is a major plus. I don't want companionship. I want the house and laundry clean and a cooked meal when I get home. So this fella...
This guy says, what happens when the Wi-Fi goes out and the robot bites your dick off? What kind of fucking security system is that? Is it like a chastity belt that automatically locks when your Face ID doesn't open up? And it's just, for some reason, it's sharp and it's just like, Your cock isn't the first cock. It's stuffed with cocks in there.
Wants a living maid. Please refer to this video.
Jess says no. Sorry.
Which I've already made talking about this. I don't need her to talk. You say it best. And of course, in the comments, there's also...
So, like, that is the same chick, right? That is the same chick, right? Please tell me. I mean, is it? I don't know. Somebody help me out. Jess, you're aware of makeup and stuff. Is that the same chick?
People pointing out how disconcerting it is to see the comments get like this, and also...
Who cares? Oh, no! The comments on the internet are a little bit... Well, they're the fucking comments on the internet. They're comments on the internet. You fucking for real? They're comments on the internet. Oh no, they're not perfectly nice. No fucking shit, it's the internet. That's what it's for. That's what it's for. What the fuck is your... So you don't want the internet? Is that what you're saying? You're on the internet right now. I'm on the internet right now. You don't want the internet? You don't like people saying what they want to say. That's what you're getting at. You don't want people making comments about a fucking trash can with a pussy. Which I'm sure that was your nickname in college, but like, don't take everything to heart, okay? It's the internet. Ignore it. Just go like this. Turn off your goddamn Wi-Fi. Please. Just because something offends you doesn't mean nobody else gets to do it. All right? Doesn't mean that fucking the world has to fucking come to a screeching halt just because you got a little offended. This is how we got in this goddamn mess in the first place. Right? Because we kowtow to everyone, all these complaints. All these bitches and moans. Fine, God, I'll let you vote. Well, that destroyed the country. You couldn't even have a credit card before. Before like the 1970s, women couldn't have the credit card. And now they're like, yes, we have credit. Oh no, I'm in $200,000 in debt. Why'd you let me do this? And then you complain about that so bad that you make the government actually pay off your loans. It's so tiring. I'm so tired. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this fucking bitching and moaning. Constantly.
See how companion bots are being sold in this way. And why these companion bots, which are designed specifically for friendship, for comfort, for helping elderly people.
How about none of your business? How about that? These robots were designed for none of your goddamn business. How about the people who buy them? Buy them because it's none of your goddamn business. How about that? Yeah, sure, they can go around washing dishes and stuff like that, helping, catheter old people and stuff, and, I don't know, picking up dog shit and stuff like that. And every once in a while, it gets to bang the fuck out of it. So, whatever, it's none of your goddamn business, though. It's none of your goddamn business. Right? You angry because your robot sisters are getting plowed and they can't say no? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But you're not worried about the fucking robot sewer workers, are you? They can't say no either. But they're men robot. They're male robots. Whatever the fuck that means. Send them down. You don't bitch about the robot at the that builds cars and stuff like that all day, every day, do you? That robot can't say no. Are you mad that that robot doesn't have autonomy? Have you thought about your point at all? Have you thought about this before you sat down and actually started making the video? Did you really think out your argument here? Or is the eyeshadow just bleeding into your eye sockets and it's actually making your brain, I don't know, sparkly? I don't know. What are you trying? It's just the women. It's just the ones that look like women. They just look, they're not women. They're not humans. They look like women. That's the only problem you have with it, is that they look like women. But if you were to make like a male robot and then somebody were to fuck that, no issue. All right. I'm glad we're being consistent here.
Why are they designed after very young, very thin, very pretty women with huge,
What do you call them, Max? Yabos?
And you may have seen this video from Tova Lee and He's So Mid. What's worrisome to me is how many of these guys are
why make them pretty? Why make anything pretty? Why make yourself pretty? Why put on makeup? Why create art? Why make a beautiful fucking building or something like that? A beautiful house. Why do yard work? Because it's nice to look at. This is retarded.
posing with their
We got 8 minutes in, and I'm full. It's up here, dude. Like, come on, you're just being stupid.
girlfriends or wives are very clearly in their profile pictures.
Farmer Chewy says, evening, this bitch is obnoxious. Obnoxious and obtuse, too. She has no clue what she's talking about. She's just complaining because it's the only thing she has to do, right? This is her complain box. This is how she gets things done around the house. It looks like she's married because she's got a ring. She got a ring. But that guy, I doubt he's chipping in his 2 cents very often, right? I think he just wants to just, fine, don't complain at me, complain at the internet. Good. Go do that.
Whilst they're spewing this very misogynistic stuff. Bro, do you not realize that this is all public? Like, this is disgusting. Now, people are probably
Disgusting. Ignore it then. Have you ever been on the internet? Is this your first day on the internet? Do you know how much disgusting shit's on the internet?
commenting, but a doll is just another tool. You've actually been sponsored by companies that sell these tools for women. You're just saying this because you're anti-men. I'm such a hypocrite, right? You'll know that I veer on the Samantha scale when it comes to this sort of stuff, okay?
Don't know what that means, and yes, you are a hypocrite.
Okay, there is no pill clutching to be had here. Even Charlotte understood the difference between a tool and a person. It's not the 90s anymore. Get with the time.
And so the robot women are people, or are they tools?
A tool is not a replacement for a person. It is not formed after a full human being.
I'm sorry. If I get a welder to fucking weld me car doors, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get a robot to do this instead. How is that not a direct replacement for a person? What do you mean by that? How is that not a direct replacement for a person? What is the point of making robots at all unless it is to replace people in various vocations, you know, whether here or there? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Do you think the only thing that qualifies a person is if you have sex with it? Is that the only thing that qualifies as a person? Is if you're able to fuck it? Because that sounds like what you're saying. That It doesn't matter whether it's able to fucking, make baskets or something like that. Right? Or clean windows or do anything like that. But if you can fuck it, it's a replacement for a person. They're all replacements for people. Every single last one of them. Another stupid point for you.
The selling point of which is just how human-like they are and how much better than a real human they really are. And
honestly, they are. They are. Like, if you... better than you. I mean, I couldn't imagine living with you. I couldn't imagine living with you because you don't think at all. You're not thinking about anything you're saying. You're not thinking about, like, how is it? What? It's not a person. You know that. And yes, it's not a replacement for a person, but people are going to fuck it regardless. So what? And even if it's able to talk you through the hard times and be there and like cook you meals and like rub your shoulders when you get home from work and stuff like that and serve you a hot meal and like, be nice to you, be there for you. That's the problem you have, isn't it? That's the problem. The problem isn't that this has to do with misogyny or anything like that. The problem is competition. The problem is competition. And you're looking out for your sisters, your fellow women. I'm sure you're married. Yeah, I see the ring. Right? So you're not really just looking out for yourself. However, if that guy were to die or divorce you or what have you, then you don't want to go out into a world where all these men are taken up by these clanker whores. I think I boiled it down successfully there. I think that's it. I think you don't want any more competition. This is why women don't have a problem with immigration, because all immigration is 20 to 35-year-old men. It's not women. It's not children. It's none of that. No. If they started fucking shipping over big-butted Latinas in massive hordes, women would volunteer for ICE today. This comes down to competition. Competition for resources, competition for attention, and all that. So, yeah. I think that's exactly what's going on here.
And they've got so many customization options, as Laura Bates shares in their book. For around $11,000 a year.
Cash Surfing says, to be fair, I don't think either. But because I do that for us. I do the thinking around here.
You can buy a life-size moving, talking robot from one of dozens of different companies to do whatever you want with.
Christian says the clankers are not our friends. That's because they're not fucking people. They're not. They're not people. Not at all. Not even a little bit. Even if they were to replicate human beings perfectly, still wouldn't be people. Would they be your friend? I don't know. If you want to be friends with robots and stuff like that and live that kind of lifestyle, I don't really see a problem with it. If you're happy, I don't care. It could be deleterious to society at large, sure. But I mean, you guys know me. I tend to have a positive outlook. I tend to be kind of optimistic about future turnings of events. So I think it'd be all right.
Customize everything from body shape to size to skin tone, iris shade to hairstyle, even accent.
Lucas says, nothing good ever comes from women thinking. I mean, women do destroy societies. It's true. This is a fact.
It's essentially enabling you to build your ideal woman. You can even pay extra for details like veins and pores to be painted on to make your robot hyper-realistic. When it comes
amputee. Give me the amputee. I want a torso with a head and knock the teeth out.
in these dolls ranging from companion to dolls, you are replacing a partner. It's no longer a tool to aid, which may remind you once again that women have been trained to...
Doom says, fucking wirebacks.
who think of themselves as not being entitled to enjoy their own.
Nice. I mean, I love that there's an entire new race of beings we get to actually make up slurs about. Wirebacks, clankers. I don't know. I haven't even started, but now I'm going to.
Pleasure, to be ashamed of themselves and to not seek this out. We're vessels for things to be done to, rather than consenting participants. And don't go telling me that
Couch Turfing says, is the amputee less money? No, it costs an arm and a leg.
guys haven't had these tools too. We all know about the lights, and we all know majority of porn is catered to men online. It's the anthropomorphism which is an issue for me. Especially when you combine that with the rise in violence against women, the rise in violent misogyny, like this utter dehumanization of women, calling us evil, and instead having a preference towards a humanoid bot, who many people are celebrating the fact that they'll soon be replacing the need for a girlfriend ever again. Except this bot, this
Okay, so those people that are already single and have been single for decades at this point are getting girlfriends, and now they're not going to get a girlfriend ever again. So what? They weren't going to get girlfriends anyway. They weren't going to get wives anyway. So people that were going to be perpetually single are no longer perpetually single. And you have a big problem with that because the robots can't say no. And this is rooted in misogyny. So you're upset that men are going to be happy without you and without other women. And this boils your blood. This boils your blood. Despite says, pretty sure Clankers is an Arc Raiders reference nerd. No, I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
this companion, this doll, can never say no to you. I've been through the Reddit threads.
Lucas says Gigaboo. Gigaboo is actually kind of funny.
I've read the articles. People do
It's actually pretty clever.
Morphize these dolls and these companions. They say that
Rubber
they've
skins, tin cells, yeah.
fallen in love with them. Some of these AI can get virtual.
Tin cells are the guys, right? That have sex with robots. I don't think they'll care what you call them. I don't think they're going to give a shit. Call them tin cells and stuff. They have a bunch of model-less beautiful women that you literally cannot tell the difference between them and a normal human woman, right? I know Thought has a, critical thought. I don't know where she's been. Maybe she's dead in a ditch somewhere. I'm not sure. God, I hope that's not the case. I didn't mean to make that joke because she might be. She doesn't think, oh, they'll never be like a real woman. Sure, Thought.
Virtually pregnant, and you can virtually get married to them as well. But this isn't love. This is ownership of a property which is programmed to do whatever you want it to. These are
Jess, get in here. It might take her a while. She's running Windows 98, I think.
not sentient, they're programmed, and yet
God, slow. I get on the phone with her and it's like, I'm like,
the marketing of it always humanizes it, constantly referring to them as she and describing different
Lucas says, it's no breakfast 9, but I get one once in a while. You'll never have a breakfast 9 joke.
personalities.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, reach for the stars, but you're going to fall short.
And saying just how realistic they are. But we're not in Kansas anymore, Toto. This is the real world. It's not like the movies. Whilst people like to hold on to romantic notions of her and...
Here we go. See? She's not a robot, but I still programmed her to do the things I tell her to do. I didn't tell her to bring a kitty.
He doesn't want you.
Stop it. Kitty gator. He's sweet.
He was loving on me.
Okay, fine.
Sleeping on my lap. And he made me get up to come.
Sleeping on my lap. I just wanted to prove a point. That you do the things I tell you to do.
Look how cute this kitty is.
Yeah.
He loves me.
Yeah.
You don't? Oh.
Lars and the Real Girl, even though, spoiler for the 2007 movie, in case you haven't
Despite says that breakfast not a joke is a once in a generation joke. Because that will be the end of your bloodline.
seen it, Lars was not an outcast from
You ain't getting laid after that.
society lone boy. He had a job and, if anything, actively pushed people away.
Hello, Lars.
He was suffering from a delusion. He had a mental break.
What is this movie? What is this movie she's talking about? I don't know what the movie she's talking about. I want to see it.
And he got a doll who he emotionally bonded with, and the community sought medical guidance on how to support him through his episode. And the solution was to play along with his delusion for him to be able to work through it. So it's not a sad, lonely misfit guy longing for love at all. It's very purposeful misreading there. It's about community support. He literally kills off his doll in the end, because remember, he's the one that's in control, right? And so he was saying that she's getting sicker and sicker and sicker, and then she and this is how he's able to be able to get into a relationship with a real human woman. But people online still love to frame him as this sad loner dude that everybody abandoned. He was an awkward guy for sure, but he had an...
Okay. You're talking about a movie, and the people online are living real life where they are sad, lonely, and abandoned. They don't have a big community around them to support them. If those people started dating a robot, nobody would blink. Nobody in their life cares about them now. So this guy had a community that was worried about him and tried to make him flourish. These other people out there don't. They don't. I know you don't understand this perspective because you're a woman, and women are they're social, right? They're the community builders, right? Women have lots of friends. They talk to other women all the fucking time. All the time, constantly. Doesn't matter. Women, anywhere they are, they'll start talking to each other. And they're like, oh, let me get your number, blah, blah, blah. Oh, we have kids and we have so much in common. Fucking at the beach, at the grocery store, it doesn't fucking matter. Anywhere you go. Now, men won't do that. I won't fucking do that. I'm not gonna, I'll be cordial and shit like that. I don't want to go around talking to people. I don't. I go to the gym, and I've been going for years, regularly, 3, 4, 5 times a week. I don't think I've ever spoken to anybody in there. Ever. Yeah. Because I don't want to. I have my social life. My social life is my wife and my children. All right? I am making my own community in the house, right? I do have friends out there, right? They're human beings too, right? But it's really more out of convenience than anything. I don't really need other people. Other people don't really want to be around me. And I understand that, right? A lot of women find men threatening. I understand that. I would sit in my fucking house. If I didn't have my wife and kids, I'd sit in my fucking house all day long. No problems. Order everything I need. Good. Sit here and just fucking... It wouldn't be the healthiest thing for me. I'm not going to lie. It would not be the healthiest lifestyle for me. It'd probably be pretty bad. But I'm just saying, that's what men do. That is what men generally do. They kind of... Most of their social life comes from their wife and kids. And if they do not have a wife and kids, they usually have not very much of a social life. You see things on the internet and on TV where a guy's got a group of friends, and yeah, a guy usually has a group of friends and stuff like that, but it's not like a woman's group of friends. It is completely different. It's completely different. I can't even explain it to you.
An entire community that loved and supported him. However, people would rather relate to him than the other dude who told him about the dolls, but he's a lot more representative of the misogynistic culture, which does seem to rear its ugly.
Couch Surfing says, ladies, please don't date a guy that suffered a delusional break before you met. See? Didn't work out for Jess.
ugly head when it comes to these dolls in particular.
You can design your own woman.
Are you talking about me? Are you talking about me? Because my delusional breaks were I mean, also after we met.
And Lars. They're anatomically correct.
I've been
Shimo says women never stop talking. They never do. They never stop talking. They never stop talking. Children too. And I know they're children. And so like, but they constantly, and it's like, they're just learning to talk. And so they're just like exercises. So you can't just be like, shut the fuck up. Right. Because they're like learning and stuff. And that's, you know. But like it's so much for I have to wear headphones pretty much all day long around my house because I can't stand it. I can't stand all the talking. It's constant. It's constant and it's just like, oh my God. I want some fucking silence. Because I want to think in my head. And honestly, it's good for me that there's a lot of talking going on. It's mentally healthy because if I was just sitting here in my head constantly, I know what would happen. I would go insane. I would go literally insane because the thoughts in my head are dark a lot of the time. They're sometimes are pretty fucking funny though. A lot of times they're dark and a lot of times they're sad and stuff. And all the talking around me actually brings me out of that. And it kind of makes me present. But that doesn't mean I like it.
been trolling the internet for a long time for this video, and the message which I keep on seeing pop up from men especially is that this is the solution to loneliness, and it's better for them to have a doll, a bot, or an AI companion app rather than being alone. Because they
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
understand that they're undesirable, which means that this is their only option. And to you, I
Yeah, that's true.
feel pity, honestly, that the manosphere has gotten you to the point where you feel this bad about yourself.
The manosphere. The manosphere. Are you sure it's not women? Are you sure it's not women not fucking these guys, not talking to these guys, not even looking in these guys' directions that's doing it? It's the manosphere. It's whatever the fuck that is. The manosphere. Look, there's some toxic ideas out there on the internet. And the so-called manosphere, I guess, would be like the Tate. I fucking hate the Tates. Other people, like, I fucking hate the Tates, though. They're fucking dumbasses. But it's not them that's making these men feel bad about themselves. That's ridiculous. It's you. It's women. It's women. If you were to pay attention to these men and like fuck them and have sex with them and stuff, even one of you, even a single one of you, two would be better, but even a single one, it wouldn't be the case anymore. He wouldn't be shopping for robots on Amazon, would he? Would he? But you know what? Time and time again, women in accountability is just a fucking matrix. They're just leaning back, dodging fucking bullets. Whoa, accountability. Whoa, not my fault. Oh, how could I have known? Whoa. Every fucking time. Every time. God damn, dude. This is why you weren't allowed to have credit cards in the 70s. And now, again, that's not your fault either, being buried in debt when you're fucking 22 years old. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. You're screwing yourselves over. And honestly, it is our fault because we just let you. We just stopped giving a shit. Men have been beaten down for decades now. Decades by family courts, by like being fucking passed over in jobs, by being ignored by women in society, by being fucking ridiculed on TV and shit like that. And so men are just done now. They're just done, right? And now that's still their fault. Oh, you're just giving up. You're not a man. You're not a man. You have sex with a robot. You're not a man. He's just trying to be happy. Just leave him alone. You have killed him. You have killed the man's soul. You just let him live in peace. But no, they can't. Because they have to extract every last bit of worth they can out of him. Because that's all men are to women. Are fucking economic value. Pay pigs. That's it. That's it. Make the toilets flush, pay pig. Slaves, essentially. Basically robots as it is. And now they're angry because men are finally getting their own robots. And then women are like, what? What? Tasting your own medicine is not that great, isn't it? It's not that great. So you can sit here and complain and bitch and moan and cry and scream misogyny as much as you want. Go out into the night and scream it at the moon, right? And a bunch of other women will go out and scream it at the moon too. And then you all dance around naked, fucking covered in blood. You know, some weird bullshit thing. It doesn't matter is my point. It doesn't matter. It's over. It's over. It's over. You ruined your lives. And now you're lying in the beds that you made.
To the point that you don't even feel worthy of making human connections. If you say that you're shy and unattractive, as I've spoken about many times, that doesn't mean that you're destined to a life of solitude without any community,
Yes, it does.
without any friendships, or if you
Yes, it
want,
does.
without a romantic partner or partners. There are so many communities that you can join which aren't based around hate.
What? Uggos.com? Plenty of fats? What? I'm sorry. Are you talking about like Tinder and stuff like that? Because like, first of all, those are mainly whores. Like literally whores. And second of all, any guy who's less than an 8 out of 10 has zero shot on those sites. Zero. Absolutely none. Absolutely none. And this is another thing I don't expect you to understand. Because you're a woman. You can walk out tonight, and get laid. In 10 minutes if you wanted to. It wouldn't be a problem. It wouldn't be an issue. It is yours for the picking, right? And it's different for a man. You actually have to be relatively successful on multiple fronts, right? You have to be good looking. You have to have a reasonable amount of money, a decent amount of muscle, have to not be retarded, have the riz, as the kids say. A combination of all of those would be ideal, but at least one. And it's not strictly about money. A lot of times people are like, oh, it's just because he's rich and stuff like that. And there are women out there who will date rich guys specifically for their money. However, those chicks aren't that attractive. They're kind of ugly. And I don't know them, but I bet they're fucking annoying too. So it is really more of a general package kind of thing. The same goes for both sexes. Well, I mean, men don't care about women's money, and they never will. Youth is a far more valuable thing for men than a woman's money. But there are men who will date women for money. Yeah, sure, they're out there. Sure.
Dating women. You can volunteer, take up hobbies, go for nature walks.
Arden Shire says 40K for a fuckbot 9000 is cheaper in the long run. Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me? Like okay. I don't want to fucking start rattling off numbers, but like, yeah. It is way cheaper. Like so much. Way fucking cheaper. I mean, you could afford 100 of them. No fucking problem. Do you know how expensive women are? And then women reproduce. They have kids. You know how expensive kids are? Not as expensive as women. Women are definitely more expensive than kids. Women are way more expensive than kids. But, and they don't get cheaper. They don't get cheaper. I'm not saying they get more expensive, although sometimes they do. But they definitely don't get cheaper. Women are fucking pricey. You got to buy a house for them. You got to buy a car for them. You got to take them out to dinners and stuff like that. You got to buy them clothes. You got to buy them bedding. Fucking curtains. Oh, I want to go to Hobby Lobby and just see, oh, look at these cute frames and shit like that. Okay, fine. Every time you step outside, it's $200 fucking dollars. At least. At least. I'm just saying. I'm not complaining. Right? I love my wife. Love my kids. Wouldn't trade them for the world. Just saying. They are expensive, though. 40 grand? One-stop shop, fucking 40 grand. That's it. Never have to take them out for their birthday. Never have to fucking go, buy new furniture because our old furniture is ugly. You know, never have to fucking wallpaper the walls or anything like that. You know, all these fucking things, they add up. They really add up. 40 grand? That's a steal.
Trust me, you'll soon see that the general population outside of this blue screen, which has warped your mind, are actually full of really nice people. And if you are expecting women to be subservient to you in order to be able to have a romantic relationship,
Crying is blackmail. Good girlfriends don't cry.
Based. But no, all girls cry for nonsense reasons. Like, just like, sometimes women will cry not even because they're sad. It's just like they're just crying. They're watching the fucking Good Doctor or whatever. Or like they remembered something really funny that their kid did a long time ago. And then they're like, oh, he was so small. It doesn't make sense. They're going to cry no matter what. Okay. And you shouldn't respond to their crying. It's just, you know, it's like the microwave beeping. It happens. It has nothing to do with anything that's going on now. It's not anything you did wrong. Even if she tells you it's something you did wrong, it's not. She's probably hungry or she's probably sleepy. I'm just saying, you know.
Oh.
I would so strongly recommend that you read
Doom says you're really starting to sell me here, bro.
one of my absolute favorite books, Bell Hooks, The Will to Change. And people
Think of the time and money you could save. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm not, you know. But here's the thing. Like, for real, I mean, that is the point, right? And Doom, you got kids. Here's the thing. As men, we have a natural propensity to take on responsibility. This is just in our DNA. We lead tribes and stuff like that. This is what we're built to do. And so you need to do that, right? You need to have a wife and you need to have children because you need to propagate society, right? We need to continue the bloodline into the future. And for that reason, it is worth the cost. Sure. It sounds like a fucking dream. You have a bunch of beautiful women waiting on you hand and foot, and they don't cost you a dime after the initial payment. It really, really sounds good. Don't get me wrong. Sounds really, really, really good. It sounds... No.
feeling disenfranchised and more alienated and more alone, that only works better for these companies who are profitable.
Men have responsibilities, right? And responsibility is what brings you happiness. Being needed, being helpful, being useful, right? I know, and it's like, it's wild, right? Because we live in a modern society, just like the falling down we were talking about yesterday. We live in a modern society that doesn't really need us. I mean, it does, right? Plumbing, blah, 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 you know, leading and shit like that. It does. But it's really pushing towards the point where we're needed less and less. Not unneeded, just less and less. And this is really starting to affect a lot of men, especially the ones in the lower echelons of society. You know, the ones who get canned first, the ones who get laid off first. And they're like, well, what do I do now? You have no use for anybody. You can't pay for your kids. You can't pay for your wife. You can't get a job. What do? You lose your fucking mind. That's what you do. I don't have a solution for this problem. I'm just pointing it out.
profiting off you. And it also works well for capitalism and also for fascism.
Despite says you could probably get a robot to do the renovations for you. Yeah, that would be cool.
And if it is just about eggs that you want to be able to cure your loneliness, sex workers do exist. And you can pay.
So whores. See, this is another thing that you don't understand. I know, I understand. It is a myriad of things that you completely miss the mark on. But it's not about fucking simply physical sex. It's not. It's about companionship. It's about coming home from work and she's bringing you a hot dinner and stuff like that and asking you how your day is. You can't get a hooker to do that. I mean, you can. But then she's a live-in hooker that fucks you from time to time. So it's a wife. You're just paying for a wife, which is no longer a hooker.
Pay them for companionship. Well,
sure, she started as a hooker, but she got all pretty woman, Danya, and now she lives with you. So, yeah.
I don't think I should be rewarded for being sex. It's not a real job anyway. So wait, you hate sex workers, but you're...
Doom says, my new responsibility will be the yearly decumming of the robot gears and servos. Just going in there with a fucking pressure washer. Fucking hazmat suit. They're like, holy shit, this guy likes to fuck. That's horrible. That's horrible. But necessary. That's a necessary job.
You're okay with an AI bot, doll, or companion? This is different. They're mine. Okay.
Gear's all gunked up. Ugh. You just clean it with a Q-tip. At least it pays well. Jesus, I can see that happening. I can see it. But you know there's going to be robots doing that. Here comes the cum cleaner bot, right? Honestly, they'll be able to do it themselves. I don't want to do the impression of that because... Oh my god, dude.
Okay, so it actually
What are women, dude? Oh my god.
is about ownership of something which caters specifically to you and has only ever been touched and used by you. No, it's because I'm awkward around people. Having conversations with people, understanding different boundaries, having disagreements, learning about people's histories, and having these challenging conversations is all part of the joys of being a human. If you can't have a conversation with an egg worker about your desires or what you'd like and if that's okay.
Despite says business idea, a robot that runs on cum. I don't know if you can make it run on cum. I mean, if you figure that out, if you figure that technology out, then India will become a superpower overnight. But I don't think that's going to be, I don't think that's possible.
Then I would say there's far more deep-seated issues to be faced here. And this is honestly an entirely separate topic, which I could indeed make an entire video about.
Is she spending her YouTube money on a fucking eyelash? I'm sorry, it's so distracting. It's so distracting. And you're right, the background is kind of nice, right? The lamp, the background is kind of nice. The makeup and the look is horrendous. It's horrible.
Down below if you want me to. I did see on Khadijah's second channel that they did dive into this a little bit. However, I feel like there's so much more to be said here. So
you think she'll see this? You think she'll see this video? Somebody send it to her. I wonder if she can get mad.
Let me know if you're keen for that, but
I don't think she will.
I can feel it bubbling up inside my brain already. You know that I live in Aotearoa and
New Zealand. She lives in New Zealand. You live in the middle of nowhere, bitch. You're in the middle of nowhere.
work is legal here, which I think is a fantastic thing, because this means that there's protections in place for workers, which is so incredibly important. However, there should be much more, especially when it comes to immigrants, because here, migrants
I think sex workers should be protected from immigrants too.
are still prohibited from the industry. So
Okay. I don't think I could find somebody I disagree more with on the internet. I've disagreed with a lot of people on the internet in general, of course, because I'm a human being. There's other human beings, and people have opinions that are stupid. Look, not all opinions are valid. Some are fucking stupid. A lot. 98%, 99% of opinions are fucking stupid. But like, holy shit, she has terrible takes. She has terrible opinions. Migrant workers need to be protected in the sex industry. What the fuck is going on? Why do you have... So you're shipping in hookers? Why? Why? You don't have native hookers? I'm just... There's a lot of problems
that means
going
that the
on
law
here.
not only doesn't protect them, but it also
New Zealand isn't a real country. I do have my doubts.
penalizes them. As the UN 2018 report shared, migrant women engaged in prostitution may be exposed to exploitation and are at risk of trafficking.
All women involved in that corn are involved in exploitation. I mean, like, look, I mean, it really depends on how you quantify what exploitation is, right? Because a lot of ex-corn stars will say, I was lured into the industry. I was taken advantage of because they offered me money and I needed the money. Is that exploitation? Well, if a man goes and gets a job because he needs the money, is that exploitation? It gets a little sticky, right? Now there is some other things where women get like kidnapped and shit, and like are forced to do cornographs, and that is obvious exploitation, sure, and that's another issue. That's definitely another issue. But this is a problem with the industry as a whole. Honestly, it should kind of be made illegal, but this is America. There are certain things that, you know, we have the right to free speech and stuff like that. And even though that's being chipped away pretty significantly, it's a tough subject. Corn is deleterious to society in general, and it should be avoided as much as possible. Completely. I don't know about the legalities and stuff like that. I'm not exactly a lawyer. I don't know if I can argue that it should be illegal or legal.
Owing to the ban of engaging in prostitution imposed on migrants, which prevents them from reporting abuse for fear of deportation. And I strongly believe that sex work is real work and should be able to get all of the benefits that go along with that, from employment law, from health and safety laws, and all of that stuff in between. Yeah,
Here's the problem with employment laws in general. It's made it impossible to hire people. You can't hire people anymore because all these employment laws make it prohibitively expensive to actually hire another person. There's Social Security, there's taxes and stuff like that. You have to abide by a bunch of laws and stuff. And a lot of work has gone to gig work anyway, right? And so those laws don't even apply because these are like contract jobs. They're not full-time employees. This is how a lot of these companies get around these laws. So I think all these laws and like protections are actually just hurting businesses and therefore the country, you know, more than they're helping, right? In California, you have to have on your board, if you have a company over a certain size, your board has to be 50% women, and they have to make the same amount of money. And so the board is 50% women, but like you're just doubling the cost of what it takes to run the company. It's extremely inefficient. And these women, they don't even like participate, right? They don't show up. They just get paid because they legally have to get paid the same as a man for having the same job. Not doing the same amount of work, not doing the same quality of work, just having the same job title, which is a legal requirement.
I can guarantee you in a couple of days there's going to be people commenting down below that sex work's not real work and women shouldn't be rewarded for acting like sex or whatever.
They are rewarded with money. What are you talking about? When you are a slut, you are rewarded with money. That's what a job is. What are you fucking talking about? Do you understand the concept of a job? When you do a job, you get rewarded with money. That's the reason. They're not just going out and being sluts and then maybe they'll get paid for it. What? What?
And also saying that it's really degrading work. But that's because you degrade
Okay, it probably is.
some forms of work over others, which is also a big part of the reason why the robots get treated the way that they do, because
Back to the robots. Okay, it's degrading work. It's because, is it my fault again? Why is it my fault again? It's my fault again. It's the man's fault again. Wait, because you're being degraded for the work that you chose to do. It's my fault again. Okay, again. And now you're mad because robots are keeping these women from being degraded? I don't understand. I'm further confused.
work is already seen as less than human. How do you think robots or bots or dolls are going to be treated? Like,
as robots! As goddamn robots! As fucking robots! They will be treated as robots. Because they are robots. You vapid whore. You stupid, vapid whore.
sex workers also have to consent to different acts happening. There's discussions that are had and boundaries which are put in place.
Chaos says John treats his fuckbot with utmost respect. Yeah, like, come on, me and my girl are going out. Jeez, dude. Well, if they treat these sex workers as less than human, how do you think these robots are going to be treated? As robots. They're going to be treated like robots. Like objects. Because they're objects. You fucking idiot! Ah!
Nice. Whereas dolls, they've got none of that. They can't say no at all.
What did I miss, says Goofy Boots? Oh, not much. Just hanging.
Which once again reduces this to something being done to someone rather than willing participants. And egg workers fall into the category of NHI, no human involved, which was used by police officers to describe crimes involving victims of colour, most often female workers and addicts. It's another reason why when
Wait, what? How is that a crime? No humans involved? What? I didn't understand. Hold on. No, I don't understand. Hold on.
workers are targeted, they don't get any sympathy from the police or the public. It's why Lonnie David Franklin Jr. got away with being a serial, as he mostly targeted black workers. Anitra Washington survived in the chat.
No, it's not why he got away with it. It's because he's black. And they kind of, I mean, like, they are not held to the same standard of law. They're not. They're just not. Fucking that guy, that one black guy who stabbed the kid in Texas, he got a fucking Escalade. He got an Escalade in a house. And now he's out, he's going to college. I think he got a full ride. Because he stabbed a kid in the neck. And they'll be like, oh, he's a genius. He's not a fucking genius. He's a fucking... I was this close.
And went to the police, but
this close.
they didn't care to follow up, leading to even more.
John's having an aneurysm. Are you hearing this, Jessica? Jessica, are you hearing this, though? Are you hearing this fucking retard? Are you hearing how fucking stupid her points are? She's upset because hookers aren't treated so nice. So if hookers aren't treated so nice, how will they treat robots? Machines that they buy.
You may remember from Succession when Kendall an employee because he was high and was driving a car when he shouldn't have been.
Gus says, like, sorry, I don't ask my stand mixer for consent. No, she doesn't. No. And she locks it in a cupboard, right? Which I think is hot.
Offered 0 consequences because the employee fell into this category.
Strawberry says, not because he stabbed a kid, because he stabbed a white kid while black. Yeah, well, yes, yeah, yep, yes.
On RPI, you're the best. Don't beat yourself up. No real person involved. You know, it's nothing.
A recent study published in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships offers new insights into how beliefs about social hierarchy and gender norms may influence interest in relationships.
Tejas says, John forcibly abuses his e-bike every day. I mean, yeah. I mean, I ride that bitch. Yeah, I'm like, you like that? I'm like, I jump on top of it. I'm like, come on, baby, don't struggle. I want to show you a good time. Tries to buck me off.
Relationships with robots. The findings indicate that men who endorse negative and antagonistic.
And Pooh says, I treat my sex bot very well. Thank you very much. Look, dude, why do you think... Okay, this chick's like, oh, they're going to treat their robots terribly. How do you know that? How do you know that? Like, when I fucking get in my car, I don't fucking key the door on the way in. I don't smash my rearview mirror. Maybe there are people that do that, but they're going to have a shitty car, right? If you treat your things nicely, they last a long time and they stay nice. I'm just saying. Why do you think everyone's automatically going to take a fucking drill to the forehead of their fucking sex bot and then inject acid to make some sort of weird sex zombie? Because that's what I'm going to do.
Domestic attitudes towards women demonstrate a significantly greater interest in robosexuality or engaging with a sexual relationship with a robot. Now, this study came out in 2024, and the sample size is indeed small. And the people conducting the study say how they want more research to be done in this space. However, since so little research has been done in this area...
Why? Why do research? What research? What research? What research are you trying to accomplish? How men are going to treat sex dolls, sex robots. That's the research. What? Is that what you're trying to...
I think that the findings of this are really important to talk about. The study included 223...
Sexist men show greater interest in robosexuality, study finds. Robosexuality, sexist men. I'm pretty sexist. I'm not going to lie. I am pretty sexist. Greater interest than non-sexist. So, okay, here. All right. A man that is not sexist has no balls, and therefore he has no testosterone. So he's not interested in sexuality at all, much less robosexuality. Nailed it. That's it. That's it. If a man is not sexist, he has no fucking balls. So he's not really a man, is he? There you go. So he's not interested in sex, whether it be robo or human based. You know?
Undergraduate students from a Western Canadian university, focusing on those over 18 fluent in English.
Big B, he hasn't turned in any of your... You haven't turned in any of your research. Big B. Turn in your sex bot unwashed today. Put it in the mailbox. Just shove it in there and fucking have the legs sticking out with the fucking cum dripping out of the vagina. For science. Yeah, I'm done with this one.
when excluding individuals who identified as transgender or gender nonconforming due to insufficient comparative numbers.
Why? Why is my dumb giving you an aneurysm? What did I do? What? You didn't like this, the fucking Big B stuffing a sex doll into the mailbox? What, Tejas?
People find sex robots relatively unappealing, but men far and away are more interested in them than women. And this is especially stark when men view women as below them.
Big B says, I've been really busy with it. I think she likes me. Look, just like normal women, it doesn't like you, Big B.
Meanwhile, women were more interested in a platonic relationship. As expected, hostile
Money. That's what they mean by platonic. They mean money.
sexism and social dominance orientation were highly correlated, since both variables pertain to unfavorable beliefs about other groups. These variables, in turn, were both negatively correlated with robo-friendship. And do you know what researchers found? It was men that don't want casual sex who are more interested in sex with a robot. Now, the researchers were really...
Men who don't want casual sex are more interested in sex with a robot. Men who don't want casual sex with a woman are more interested in sexual... Well, of course. That's why they're not banging hookers. Yeah, that makes sense. But your entire thing was like, why not just go bang hookers? Because they don't want to bang hookers.
Really surprised by this part, but me personally, I wasn't. Think about it. If you score high...
I have to hear her out. I'm going to hear you out.
And negative attitudes towards women, then why would you want to go to the energy of trying to court someone? You have to get to know them. Gosh, you may even have to pay for a meal or something in order to be able to potentially be able to, get laid. This correlation made perfect sense.
What? So having negative opinions towards women. What do you mean by negative? Because, I like women. I love my wife and stuff like that. I don't like women's opinions in general. I think they're stupid. I don't think they're well thought out. I think they're misguided. And these are all fair points. I don't think this is a negative opinion. I think this is just an objective fact. So, but I mean, it really depends on what you consider to be negative viewpoints on a group like that. Because I don't want women to disappear. I like women. I like women. I mean, Daywave might not think so, but I do. But there are problems, but I'm really pointing more towards societal problems about what we push them and let them do more than the actual creature themselves. You see?
To me, especially around all of this shaming, which is so prevalent in misogynistic places. Instead, you get to have this robot, which is...
Is that a T-Dog or just an Australian? She's from New Zealand, right? So I think she's natty. I think she's got the Dos Equis. So she's just not very pretty, which makes sense because she's talking about misogyny and stuff like that. And usually the uglier women get, the more they talk about sexism and misogyny. There's a very clear corollary there, right? The uglier you get, the more feminist you become. This is, that's not debatable.
Designed specifically for you that nobody else has touched. Of course they're going to rather have that if they hold on to all of these misogynistic, nasty beliefs. Again,
which are tell me my nasty misogynistic beliefs, please. I tell you my beliefs consistently. Tell me how they're wrong. Tell me how they're misguided. Tell me how they are bad in any way. I'm sorry if they hurt your feelings. I do. I feel bad that you don't understand, right? But it doesn't matter if you understand. You're going to feel bad. You're going to feel worse. You're going to feel worse if men in general, as a society, let you continue down the path that women have been going down. And look at you now. Look at you now. Take a look at me now. Are you really the happiest you could be? Are you? Or have you kind of ruined your life? You seem bitter. You seem mad. And look, I understand I'm also bitter and mad about certain situations, but definitely not my gender. I'm very happy being a man. You seem kind of bitter being a woman. Is that the case? Because you've been forced to make your own decisions, which you probably didn't want to do. And then if you make a bad one, which is bound to happen, then you can't be held accountable for it. No, that would be insane. It must be misogyny's fault. It must be society at large. And here you are playing the crusader, right? Trying to protect and be the hero for other women by calling sex robots misogynistic. Robots that are going to give some men, some unchosen men that are currently unchosen, that are not in relationships and most likely will never be in relationships, a little bit of comfort in this difficult life. And you want to banish that. You want to destroy that. You want to destroy what little hope some of these men have. Because it's misogynistic in your point of view, in your eyes. For a problem that you don't have. For a problem that you can't even possibly understand. Interesting.
More research needs to be done, but I found this very interesting.
Nervous?
You're not supposed to talk.
Old King Cole says, are we pig tipping? Well, we're trying. We're trying.
Show me how you feel.
Dolls, the upgrade that men need from nasty women. AI gives people the tools to create personality, but in a number of cases, male users who have been interviewed by various media outlets have said that
Shimo Street says Hope is gay. I disagree. Hope is actually necessary. Hope is extremely necessary. Because what do you have when everything is taken from you? When you're at the bottom of the fucking barrel. When you have nothing. And all you want is just a little bit of comfort. And then here comes this idea, this thing. It's like maybe one day you'll get a sex robot that will love you and actually comfort you until your elderly days. And then this bitch is like, no! Even though it doesn't affect her at all in any way. And it would really legitimately improve your life. Literally very much improve your life. And then some fucking shrieking cow comes out of the darkness saying, no, it's sexist. Yeah. Hope is important. Hope is what keeps us going forward. Hope is, because what's the point? If you don't have hope, you don't really have anything, even if you do have stuff. If you don't have hope for a better future, you don't have much.
that they prefer their robots not to speak at all. When one company added
I understand that.
a new AI feature to their robots to enable them to make more
You're really selling that point, whatever your name is. Bryony? Get the fuck out of here. Bryony? Help me out here. Bryony Claire. Bryony. What the fuck?
realistic conversation, some
Makes sense that her parents were also retarded.
owners chose to switch it off because it made their dolls seem different from what they imagined. In other words, the more that companies made dolls that seemed to have
Big B Trucker says, a woman wants to get in the way of a man's happiness? No way.
minds of their own, the less their
It's a tale as old as time, dude. Fucking that sense of the Garden of Eden. Adam was gonna live forever and, you know, just fucking chill out in the jungle with a bunch of his animal friends. And this bitch was all like, yo, you know that God guy? He said we couldn't eat this. I'm gonna do it. You should do it too.
Male users seem to like them. Of course, some male users would argue that turning off
It is
imperfect
literally the origin story of civilization is a woman ruining something. That is the origin story of humanity. Is a woman ruining something.
rendered voice technology enables them to maintain the revolution.
Like how fucking on point is that? The origin of humanity is a story of a woman that ruins a good thing.
That their doll is real. But in one chat room dedicated to sex robot owners, several say that you wouldn't want to use the new AI features because they'd rather their doll wasn't speaking for itself.
Old King Cole says, to be fair, I would rather die forgotten and alone before AI dating. I can't get it out of my own head enough to do it. The shame is too powerful. I get that. I understand. Yeah, I mean, it's not, look, I mean, having a relationship with a woman is difficult and stuff like that, but I don't know if having a relationship with an AI would be all that much better because remember, AI are based on women, so they're going to be argumentative. Is this chick, is this her right here? Because she kind of looks, she doesn't look great. You know, whatever, that's the way you look. I'm not gonna like beat a dead horse, but you kind of look like one.
Y'all are really taking the wrong lessons from those songs, man.
Teja says that's how you know God is real. Yeah, the whole origin story. And also, you know, he's fucking probably pretty funny. I guarantee you he's pretty funny.
And this perfectly mirrors the comments that we saw before, right? Reducing women in our worth to being holes, effectively, and then putting that same notion onto these dolls.
But it's not you. It doesn't involve you. You're not a part of it. You're not. So why are you mad? Why are you mad, bitch? You're not a part of it. It doesn't affect you. In no way it doesn't affect you. You don't have to see these men. You don't have to interact with them. What you're doing right now, you are not interacting with them. You are not having sex with them. They are no part of your life. Why are you mad about that? Why are you mad? Because a guy is going to have a robot girlfriend. Why are you mad? Why are you mad about that? Because it's going to take a job away from a real woman. It's about competition. Women try to destroy competition in any way possible, right? They're always trying to make their position better and trying to make other women's position worse, even though they do look out for other women. But they're also going to do that for men. They are ruiners of society. They are ruiners of society. That's it. That's what I'm going to end on. They are generally just ruiners of society. Thanks for coming, everybody. I hope you guys have a good night and stay strong. Be good cult members. Good cult members. And, you know, respect women. Believe women. Except for when you're actually thinking and using your head. Anyways, guys, I will see you tomorrow night. I hope you guys have a good night. Be strong, be well, drink a lot of water, get a good night's sleep, and take care of yourselves because I care about you too. I'll see you. Love you. Goodbye.
I'm an incredible soul, unhinged and enraged like a bulldog's fierce growl. I'm spitting fire, burning through these trees, questioning the world, unraveling conspiracies. Talking about Bigfoot, but I guess monster too. Government lies, they're feeding me their goo. I'm diving deep into this rabbit hole, uncovering the truth. To their control, I got unraveling the madness with every word I spoke.